Episode 121 of Cal Cagno Radio continues right now. Joe's in his basement, safe and sound. I'm in my basement, safe and sound. I'll tell you what, it's the little things that I miss the most. And I'm not trying to be like,
All the small things.
yeah.
To get toothpicks.
No,
I'll take. You're right. Pep trip.
no, it's weird though. Like, okay, what do you miss the most about like being free and not quarantined?
The thing I miss the most
No
is
canned answers. No, like, I miss the warm hugs of my mother.
okay, well, I'll think of another one then.
Were you really going to say that?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, Mom, I totally
Yeah.
was, Mom. No, smoking meats. Like I haven't been able to
really?
find my smoker and get out there and do that stuff. It's been a while.
Hey, your microphone broke up, and it sounded like you said, I haven't been able to buy smoker in a while. It broke up right at the... I'm like, wow, you really are. You're really giving that smoker hell, aren't you?
Hopefully the listeners aren't hearing it break up. So hopefully, kind of like it was before.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that mic, I hope you kept your receipt. That's all I'll say. Because after this thing is over, we're going back to the headset. It sounds at times like you're talking through a sock that's been stuffed in your mouth.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's weird. Wait till you hear it. It's not, I don't know why.
Okay.
Seriously, even just now you go, okay. That's what it sounds like. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming through fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just get another cord and just have you use a regular mic like I have.
Okay. Well, that's a bummer.
You're like, there's $600 the toilet. No, I mean,
it was $25.
You can listen to it, but you can return it. Where'd you get it from? Amazon?
Yeah.
You can return it, dude.
I got everything.
Hey, we're gonna be fine.
It's okay, buddy.
You know what I miss most?
Hey, buddy, look right here. Look right here.
We're gonna get this through together. Okay. You do cross-eyed. I thought for sure you do cross-eyed. The thing I'll miss most, those returning things. No, the thing I miss most, though, is just like the simple things of being like, oh, I want a coffee.
Just a simple thing of hanging out with Grant's friends' parents.
Oh, he cut my hair. I meant to tell you, he cut my hair today. What do you think? He did my hair.
Seriously, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too
It was so funny, though, because he was trying to cut my hair, and I have a video. I'll post it on the Instagram. But his whole goal was to cut my hair without touching my head. Like, you know how like a normal barber like touches your
head? He walks through a store like boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. But he won't touch your head.
I got a bunch of emails from people who are like, my kid does the same thing, has to touch everything.
Oh,
we got roasted the other day. They've been sitting in my garage for 3 days. You doing that yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're not, but she is.
Exactly.
Dude, I'm telling you. Okay. I wasn't going to talk much about coronavirus, but I guess we'll talk about it a little bit since everyone's talking about it. I really think it's everyone's wives and girlfriends that are way more into this quarantine than the men are. And I'm not saying I'm calling it a hoax. I'm not saying that it's not necessary to stay inside, all of this. But I never thought about taking every piece of produce that I got and dunking it in soapy water so that it could then air dry out of my garage. Or the fact that, like, the box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch has to stay in my garage, laid out on a tarp for 3 days.
Oh my. Yeah, we haven't gone that far.
What do you do?
Molly's keeping stuff in cars, and then we have a second refrigerator where things get like rotated. So we're doing that, but nothing's been laid out on a tarp. But I'm with you. Like, I think this whole thing is perpetuated by wives and girlfriends.
Yeah.
And I was telling Molly the other day, again, we don't want to talk about this, but obviously I guess it's going to slip out because it is the sign of the times. But my thing is, we prepare for the flu by saying I don't want to get sick, because by being sick, I can't go to work. I can get other people in the house sick. I can get my friends sick. That's how we prepare to not get the flu. I don't know anyone who says I can't get the flu this season because I don't want to die. And then does like you're talking about, then like we go to these nth degrees to combat it. That is where my brain, I don't go there. So like for Corona, like, yeah, I'm trying to do everything I possibly can to not get sick and to not get those around me, whether I know them or not. I don't want to get anybody sick.
Yeah.
But like, my mindset isn't that of which that like I'm preparing to fight the Reaper. You know, like at no point is the Grim Reaper
Yeah.
entered into like I have to battle it out with death
Yeah.
over
Well,
this.
and here's the thing. Before anyone emails us or sends us any notes, we understand that the coronavirus is worse than the flu. I get that. I know a lot of people, you know what I mean? They have their issue with it, and people say, well, it's not. Listen, I'm not here to discuss the validity of all of us staying home. If we all stay home, it's kind of like we said before. It's like when people get over in the lane is going to close on I-75. If we all get over, we maintain some speed. But if you jump to the front or go out to the beach in Florida or you stay out, you know, and go to your parties with your friends and you don't get over in the right lane, then it slows everybody down. Like it's kind of the same type of thing. But what I just, to me, I thought I was a germaphobe. I can't even wrap my head around the fact that I would have to leave my groceries in the garage for 3 days. Like that never entered into my thought process. I'm not saying that I didn't do it because I'm married and I want to stay married, but there is that part of me who's like, who came up with this? And apparently a doctor did, or Facebook, one of the two. But
I'm
I also
going with B.
Yeah. See, I have this other theory, though, that most women use Facebook and that Facebook is just sending out these messages and these posts that are just so bizarre, some of which are very, very helpful, and some of them are very detrimental.
Yeah. No, I agree 1,000%. Like every day I get, you know, whether it's friends' wives or mine or whatever, I get texts and memes and all sorts of stuff on we talked about this on the last show on like the new way to wash your hands. Like I'm 42 years old. I know how to wash my hands.
How many
know,
times have you seen the guy with the gloves on and the black paint and he's got to do this and then you see these other people, or if I see one more person post, well, we put black paint on the, you know, like you would with soap, and look how you're not washing your hands right. And then I see the next person is putting the thing about like, oh, you know, you put your hand in water and all the pepper goes away. Have you seen this one?
No.
Oh yeah, I've seen like 6 different people do the exact same thing to try to get like internet famous. And you're like, your hands. Did you happen to watch that that concert that was on last night?
No, one of our listeners posted something about like iHeartRadio had like Billy Joe Armstrong.
But don't you dare give iHeartRadio any free plugs on our podcast. I'm joking. No, yeah. So it was a thing put on by some media conglomerate who treats their employees. No, I'm just joking. I have nothing bad to say about them.
Hey, but guess what? They heart radio.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
They love it, and they love their employees. Apparently,
they're like, how do we seem young and hip? Like, let's just call ourselves iHeart. Like, let's not call it Clear Channel. We'll just call each other iHeartRadio.
Right.
But who loves it?
I fart radio.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, they did a thing last night that was so cool at times, but also very, very canned at times. Like it was clearly taped a couple of days ago. And one of the things that I ran into when I was watching it, just so you know, it was hosted by Elton John, who just sort of did the intros and in and out of like, hey everybody, I'm Elton John.
I'm thinking off the top of my head, if I was putting money into like a big thing like this, what better MC and someone who's more plugged in to the social pipeline than Elton John?
Yeah. And when he sang at the end, because he goes, this is the only house I
the wind.
No, he goes, this is the only house that I have where there's no piano. And Wendy's what? Like, you're Elton John. Of course you do. And then at the end, he goes, this is my son's keyboard. And then he goes, don't let the sun go down on me. And that was it. Like, he sang like that much of it.
It ain't the sun that is. It ain't the sun. I'm just saying.
Everybody was his friend. So he's like, now it's time to go to my good friend Alicia Keys. And then she played a song. And then it comes back. He goes, thanks, Alicia. And you're like, dude, you clearly taped this a week ago. Like you didn't hear her sing. Like, and then he's like, now we're going to go to Tim McGraw. Tim McGraw had arguably an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and he was sitting on the diving board singing.
He's like, how can I look like a pompous jerk?
How about I sit on the diving board?
It's great. Yeah, it's always great when country singers, who the roots of country are like in like blue collar, dirty jeans, and then you're in your Richie Rich mansion sitting on a diving board above a pool. Yeah,
Backwards.
the pool's full of crystal.
Yeah, so he was sitting there, but yeah, it was funny because I was going back and forth last night when I was watching. I'm like, this is really weird. And then they show Billy Joe Armstrong who sings. Okay? You're on this thing. You're Billy Joe. Did you see it by chance? I mean, I know you didn't see the concert. Did you see what song he sings?
No,
what do you think he sang? Of all the Green Day songs he could have sang during this really, really tough time.
Good Riddance.
No.
A great song for the end of the world.
It's Good Riddance time of your life.
Yeah, it ushered out Seinfeld and it ushers out Mankind.
No, he sings, I walk this lonely road, the only one that I have ever known.
Still a great song.
Alone. But I walk alone? Like, is that what we need during this time?
Yeah,
like
that's when you leave your house to walk, you're walking alone. You can't be out with anybody.
No, and Grohl was on there and sang My Hero.
Okay.
And that was really cool. And then
just him, or was like a band?
No, just him and a guitar. He's in Hawaii, and his face literally looked like this. It was as bright as a tomato. I'm not gonna lie. It was so red. And you know how he's just like got that, like, sort of looks like Animal from the Muppets.
Yes, good doll.
Yeah. So he's singing. He's there goes my hero. Watch him as he goes. Which I love.
That was actually pretty good.
Thank you.
You were in key. You hit all those notes.
Thank you. I'm starting to think that was a backhanded compliment. Like, normally I'm not in key and that I don't hit all the notes.
What?
But anyway, so it kind of went back and forth, and then it was like, let's hear from Ellen DeGeneres, and it's like, then she's like, take care of yourself, wash your hands, or whatever.
She come out dancing.
No, she didn't. But then they went to Lizzo for a second, who like had crazy glasses on and was like,
I don't know who that is.
Okay, well, she's from Detroit, so she's a big deal. Everybody really likes her.
Okay.
But
okay,
I don't know her song. I don't really know much about her, but people really like her. And then they go to Camila Cabello. Do you know who that is?
I think I do.
Camila Cabello. When I was on 96.3.
The more that you say her name, no, I don't think I know who she is.
There were so many people like that would call in and be like, "You're saying her name wrong." I'm like, I don't know what the hell her name is. I don't listen.
I wonder why you lost your job.
Listen, when you go from doing really good morning show bits to all of a sudden following it up to introducing New Kids on the Block at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday next to Camila Cabello, you know what? The mighty have fallen. I don't know if the mighty was ever as mighty as they thought they were, but the mighty definitely fell at that point. Anyways, so she's on there, and you can totally tell, and I'm standing by this, she was like pre-recorded. Like everyone else, like Billie Eilish was on there with her brother, and she's saying, I'm a bad guy. Duh. You know who she is, right? You don't know who Billie Eilish is?
No, you didn't let me answer. Yes, I know who she is.
Hey,
when I
first heard delay. Hey, there's a giant delay because I'm like,
there's not on my end. Like I'm right on with you. Like there's been no pauses on my end. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But totally. Billie Eilish, the first time I saw her, I thought, all right, this girl's got it going on. She's like going to be a big deal. And she seemed very humble and whatever. And then a few months go by and I watched the Hot Ones episode where she eats chicken wings on the Hot Ones. And she was a complete idiot, completely looked like fame had gone to her head. And I was like, dude, I can't deal with people like this. So I was done with her.
Yeah, my daughter really likes Billie Eilish, and so she's liked her for quite a while, like way before when her name was William Eilish. Like she was totally into him way before.
She was William Eyelashes. And then she was told to shorten it.
Anyways, but yeah, we watched a thing called Complex does this thing where they do sneaker shopping, and of course Grant loves it, where they take like famous people and they take them to the store. But like she kind of appeals to, for the most part, 11 to 15-year-old girls. Like that's who likes Billie Eilish. Okay. She must have used the F word in this video 60 times. Where I'm like, dude, are you doing this to seem cool? Because like
it's like Miranda sings.
Oh,
it's like the same thing. Like you build your empire on young kids But then, like, when you do a live show or something like that, it's like you're around all your friends and you just cuss and you do whatever. It's like, dude, what do you do? It's like if the Wiggles, like, record all their, like,
just ripping.
yeah, the, like, Wiggles come out and they record all their songs, and then they come out and they do, like, Wiggles live, and they're dropping F-bombs and, like, throwing beers out to dads. And
Yeah. Just ripping off of, the dinosaur's butt. Just the green guy just got just nostrils full of coke.
Captain Feathersword.
Woo! Looking like Ric Flair. Looking like Ric Flair. Just eyes all bloodshot, carried on.
Just sweating for no reason.
So much sweat, blowing out the big baloney sticks.
Ripping, and all you did was stand up.
Yeah. Anyway, so so she was on there, and you could tell. I felt like, well, at least I thought she was pre-recorded. And then Mariah comes on there, and I'll tell you what. Anytime I get some Mariah Carey time, I love it because she is certifiably insane. Like, she's so out there. So she sings. You'll always be a part of me. I'm one of you indefinitely.
She didn't sing All I Want for Christmas is You.
She was singing that song. I'm not gonna lie. So she gets on there. She's got all these backup singers and all this stuff. And then she's like, all right, little ones, time for bed. I'm gonna go put on my rubber gloves. Yes, Mariah, third person. Yes, Mariah wears rubber gloves in her whole house. And I was like, what? Yeah, like what? You wear rubber gloves at your own home? Like,
if someone said to me, time to go to bed, I'm going to go put on my rubber gloves, I would be terrified. I would be terrified. What kind of sentence is that? All right, kids, time to go to bed. I'm going to put on my rubber gloves. That's something Michael Jackson would say.
That's true, but in a much higher place.
It would something allegedly.
I think you have to say allegedly. Wasn't he accused?
I'm in team victims. I think Michael Jackson was a pedophile.
I do too.
I can't back the guy.
Dude, I watched that movie. I watched that one TV show. What was it called?
Finding Neverland.
Finding.
Yeah.
Saving
Private Neverland.
And you know the dude who wrote Peter Pan was like, leave me out of this crap, Neverland. Leave me out of it. And Michael Jackson's like, no, I will leave you in. I will leave you in. Let the